Hello, hello, my beautiful Sagittariuses. Welcome to your December 2017 reading. So, hopefully, you guys are all doing well and happy birthday to you guys. So, this is my first month doing readings here on this channel. So, I'm trying a bunch of different formats to kind of see what works best. So, bear with me as I kind of, learn the ropes and also work with different methods of working with the videos, different content, different editing techniques. I promise you that I'm striving to get better at this process. So we're gonna jump in and get started. This month I am using the Fountain Tarot, also using Wisdom of the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron Reed, and the Past Life Oracle. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on your reading. I've already shuffled the deck, so just let me connect here. All right, guys, and we are going to open up your reading. I've had stuff like literally I think for retrograde, like I've dropped so much stuff since the retrograde has started. So I'm pretty sure I'll be dropping a whole bunch of other stuff during the reading. So let's go ahead and open your reading up. All right. And I want my beautiful Sagittariuses to have an insightful reading, bring them love, abundance, and insight to step into their highest path and highest destiny. So what loving information is present here for my Sagittarius for December 2017? Let's see what comes up for you guys. See, stuff jumping everywhere. So there's a lot of cards that came up here. So this has kind of been happening quite a few times. So then I just kind of reshuffle a few of the cards and see what comes up here. Sometimes I feel guided to just allow all of the cards that kind of come out like that to come up. And then sometimes I don't have that feeling as much. So what wants to come forward for Sagittarius is... So we have the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is typically, and it's in reverse, and we're going to read reversals this month. The Six of Swords is typically moving away from something, something that may be creating a lot of mental stress in your life. This could be a situation, this can be a job, this could also be just moving away from thought forms, mindsets. This could also be taking this journey inside of yourself and moving away from the ego mind and the need to do that. However, this is in reverse. So this is an indication to me of just really being stuck. I have a feeling that you guys want to move forward and you have insight, your guides are directing you on this path, but something is really keeping you from just moving on this new journey, moving into this new realm. So let's get some more insight on this. Where is this Six of Swords going here for you guys? All right. So we have the Tower. So, yeah, so, when we have the Tower come up, this is about the divine coming in and kind of tearing down old structures. Again, I really feel this is mental constructs. This can be situations that are emotionally challenging. This can be anxiety. This can be depression, but it's just really... Also, this can be like the mental, emotional body. So this can also be yourself. It doesn't necessarily have to be an external situation, but it can be one that is creating this kind of like a mental strife to where you feel like, you don't want to move away or you're stuck. But I feel like the divine's coming in here and, is telling you and letting you know it's time to clear these old patterns out. It's time to clear out these contracts. It's time to clear out these old cycles. They are no longer of use here. It's time for you to move forward. You've held on for this too long. So, because your resistance, because I feel like the Six of Swords is a resistance here from just moving forward, the divine is kind of coming in, divine intervention, if you would call it, and is saying, okay, no more. So I feel like for Sagittarius, this may be very uncomfortable. Um, I think it's important for you guys to know again that anything that is creating challenges, anything that's triggering you, anything that's creating friction at this time is for your highest and best good. And especially with Mercury in retrograde, you're going to be able to see this energy from a different perspective, um, so that you can move forward. I really feel like this is going to come through connecting deeply with your higher self. And Sagittarius is the sign of freedom, it's the sign of truth. It's also the sign of kind of redefining what your beliefs and what your values are. So for some people, this can also be confronting old paradigms, old belief systems that aren't in alignment with the path and the direction that you need to move in. So maybe you feel, for some people, it's feeling stuck in this aspect. Like maybe you had a specific belief system that you held your whole life, that you were raised or you were brought up in, and now you're beginning to see like this doesn't make sense in my life. Like this doesn't fit, or it doesn't really make sense for you, and you've been guided, or your guides or your inner voice or the divine's really been speaking to you about a path to move in. But I feel like there's again this level of resistance on the path, and this is kind of really not going with the flow. Like I'm literally seeing like it's kind of like one of those scary movies where like the monster or the ghost is dragging someone, and like their nails are like digging in the ground, and they're just holding on for dear life, and their nails are dragging and tearing off. And I feel like that's what this energy is. It's like you're holding on to these constructs for dear life and you're not wanting to let go. And the divine's coming in is like, okay, like if you want to keep resisting it, that's fine, but this is gonna go. This is going anyway. So the suffering that you're allowing yourself to go through during this process is just completely unnecessary. It's like internally the direction that you need to move in. I think Sagittarius have known for quite some time it's time to move into a different realm, to step up, to level up in spiritual maturity and spiritual hierarchy. So just, I'll just allow this process to happen. Big surrender energy here I'm feeling. So let's see what else wants to come forth here for you guys in regards to the Six of Swords and this Tower energy here. So we have the Seven of Cups. So I feel like with the Seven of Cups, again, I feel like this is a lot of emotional baggage. That's what I'm getting for Sagittarius is with the Seven of Cups. And again, I feel like this could be for some Sagittariuses. This could be about relationships. This could be even like jobs. This can be your own energy that you've held on to for such a long time. There's so many cups here. It's just like they're surrounding you. It's like all this emotional energy is coming up and it's confronting you. And, if you could see the image here for her, she kind of is just like, she feels like stuck. There's like a look or a feeling of concern, like she doesn't know what to do with all of these energies that are coming up. I feel like these are triggers for Sagittarius. All this emotional energy is coming up for you to confront this. Confront the things that are draining your energy. Confront the things that are taking away from your light, so you can heal those things. So I feel, again, a lot of triggers coming up, especially in the emotional arena for Sagittariuses. And I'm a Scorpio sun, but I am a Sagittarius rising, and I definitely can say, just even in my personal experiences, there's a lot of emotional triggers coming up. Also, especially for Sagittariuses, I feel like there's also some inner child wounds that are coming up. I also feel that some of Sagittariuses may be receiving some insight and intel in the dream world, in that dream vein. So if you're someone that does dream work, just make sure you pay attention to your dreams. Look for any codes, any symbols, any messages that may come through in that space. The message I'm also getting is that with clearing this energy, remember, energy is not destroyed. This is about transmuting this emotional energy. These can also be wounds, traumas, and remember, we're also in retrograde still, so these can also be things that we haven't cleared, contracts, karmic energy from past lives as well. Um, and when we make space for this, when we transmute this energy and we change this energy, we basically, the cups don't go away. It's like what I'm seeing is that the cups are being dumped upside down, and there's the opportunity for you to fill these cups with new energy. So I think Sagittarius should also dream big. Like, what do you want to create? What do you want to cultivate? What would you want to fill these cups with? What would make you happy? What would change you from this energy and this state of kind of, I feel like worry, anxiety. I feel like from some Sagittarius, this can also be complacency, knowing that there's a change that needs to be made, but doing nothing about it and kind of almost making excuses. And these excuses and kind of not doing anything about it, remaining in the same place, isn't bringing abundance into your life. It isn't opening doors for the divine to come in and help you cultivate the life that you want. So I feel like Sagittarius um, really need to connect intimately with themselves at this time during this period. So let's see what's coming in from Wisdom of the Hidden Realms here for you guys. So let's connect these energies together and get some deeper insights. What is coming through for Sagittariuses? Oh, another thing that just came through, I'm looking at the Seven of Cups. It keeps, I keep being drawn to this energy. It's like you're surrounded. You can't move. We're not going to let you move. You need to confront this. You need to deal with it. So then the Tower card comes in. And the Tower card is essential energy here. So yeah, we have the Lady of Lightning. So it's still very, very similar to the Tower energy. This is the divine coming in. This is like an awakening. There's like that lightning energy coming in and shocking you so that you kind of wake up. It's kind of like you need to snap out of this. Like this stuck energy, like the complacency, not moving at all. There's no flow here. There's no flow here. This is just like being surrounded by all of these things, almost like all these kind of inner wounds, all these traumas, always demons almost, and still doing nothing about it. It's just allowing yourself, I feel like, to sink deeper, kind of into shadow energy. But then the tower energy comes in, and we have the Lady of Lightning as well, which these two cards are very interconnected, and this is going to wake you up. It's shaking up the ground literally to get you to move, because sometimes it takes divine intervention to come in, and change things around for us to get us to move. And sometimes that can be very uncomfortable, especially if we're kind of like stuck in our ways, and our energy is very fixed. But I feel like this is energy that needs to be transmuted, especially because we're in Sagittarius. It's a very, it's a fire sign. So this is transmuting this energy by fire, if you can see. And it almost a little bit, if you can see like the bottom of her dress, it looks like fire. It looks like a transformation of all levels. And when you go through this process, like regardless of how just like intense, because I feel like this is very intense awakening energy. This is Sagittarius is, after they go through this process, really seeing things from a different perspective. This is a destined shift. This is a major, karmic cycle that, is being released from your life. And I feel like when you come out on the other side of this, you may not even recognize who you are. Very, very electric energy that's coming in. I think it's a beautiful process though. I feel like Scorpios and Sagittariuses for like the past 2 years, everyone's going through a major shift. It's on a collective level. I feel like the front runners of really doing the um, deep core work has been through Sagittarius and Scorpios. And they're going to really, they're signs that are really going to be able to step up and to help guide other people through different areas of their process, because everyone is experiencing this energy in their own unique way, based upon their sign, based upon their own unique blueprint, and their astrological alignments in their birth charts. So we have the Well Watcher that has come up, and hopefully you guys can see that. So what's coming through is that these structures, these old paradigms, this old reality, that you're kind of still stuck in, but it's kind of like I'm seeing like blocks falling down. It's like the tower's tumbling down, and I feel like once it comes down and you allow yourself to really center yourself, to go within, because remember, this Gemini supermoon and Mercury retrograde is about going backwards, reviewing, energies, either from past lives, or past lives can also be just our current life, just in the past, but reviewing things that, we didn't necessarily see, in a specific way before. I always kind of like to correlate, Mercury retrograde like the Hangman in Tarot, where Odin was hung upside down from a tree, and he was able to see things from a different perspective and connect deeply with his higher self. And in doing so, and taking that time to kind of go inward and connect with that aspect of himself, he was able to come up with the runic system. And that's how I always feel about retrograde. And I feel this way in this reading too. I feel like this, energy, especially because it's in happening in the sign of Sagittarius, it's going to be very powerful. You're going to receive a lot of wisdom, a lot of insight from your higher self, from your guides, from your spirit team, that is going to give you direction on how you need to move forward, how to clear this energy, and how you can step into your highest expression, that you need to, moving into 2018. And of course, when we're in retrograde, it's just we go within, we process this information, but we really don't utilize the information, and we really don't receive a clear understanding of how to utilize it until typically a little bit after Mercury does go direct again. But of course, this energy is coming in time to move into 2018. And 2018 is going to be a big year. In numerology, it's an 11 year. So again, major activations, major spiritual shifts, a lot of people stepping into their mission. I also think we're going to see a lot of people start speaking out more in their truth, guiding people, trying to get others to connect to their purpose, to kind of come together in unity. So the last card we have is the Horse's King. I feel like this is a lack of self control or even a lack of discipline. Um, I feel like I actually feel like for most Sagittariuses, this is kind of being caught up in all of these things that are happening like in the world, like whether it's your jobs, whether it's, it could be sports or, music that's taking you away from connecting yourself on a deep level and really going within and realizing how strong you are. Um, I also feel like with the Horse's King in reverse, this is, I feel like some Sagittarius are really, really in the dark night of the soul. And they feel like no one can possibly understand what they are going through. So they're kind of suffering inside of themselves. That's how I kind of feel with the Seven of Cups and also that Six of Swords in reverse. I feel like Sagittarius need to release this energy and confront this energy. Um, if you need to speak with someone or talk with someone, it's okay to do so. It could also be like a friend you trust. It could be a spiritual advisor. It could also be just connecting and speaking with your higher self. Sometimes it's, the need to speak it or say things out loud. It could be even through automatic writing or journaling, that you really start to express what you've been holding in, because I feel like this is a lot of energy where it just like literally like my throat I'm like looking for my water, like my throat feels like stuck, like someone's just like literally like has their hand around my throat. I feel like there's a need for Sagittarius to start really expressing what's going on with them so that they can release this energy here. So we're gonna pull a few cards from the past life oracle here for Sagittariuses. All right. So this is about releasing fears, releasing phobia. So I feel like this is what is coming up here. This is what's kind of surrounding you to deal with and confront. It feels like the same energy to me. It's like this anxiety. If you can see here, like her hands are like right where her throat is. Like that's that like kind of stuck energy that I felt like. I feel like for some Sagittarius is like the phobia or the fear could actually be kind of like I'm trying to figure out how to say it. Like I feel like a lot of Sagittariuses are very, very powerful. have a lot of powerful energy, and there's a fear in kind of allowing that to be seen, allowing the truth of who you are to be seen. Also, again, I feel like there can also be like persecution energy here as well. And there's so many different time periods, so many different eras where we, even like, with the Salem witch trials, there was also witch trials in Connecticut as well. But, you know, if you have had past lives, during any of those times, this could also, it doesn't have to be like, like the witch trials. This could be believing in any alternative spiritual beliefs when the rise of Christianity came about. And if you weren't in alignment with that, then you were killed. And so I feel like, for a lot of Sagittarius is because, inside of yourself that there is this different path that you connect with inside of yourself, but I feel like there's a fear like surrounded around what other people are going to think if you express this truth, and you show people what it is that you really resonate with. um, for some, it could just be the fear of just totally stepping into something different, like fear of the unknown almost. Um, Knowing that you're being guided to move in a different direction, or even wanting to move in a different direction, and you have a lot of intel and insight coming in about this, because I feel like there's definitely, divine information coming in. Your higher self is definitely speaking to you and communicating with you, especially during this retrograde. um, and I feel like this is what has to be overcome during the retrograde period for Sagittarius. Is you have to confront this energy that's keeping you stuck. You have to confront the fears that are coming up. And again, this is a general reading, so your fears, the traumas, the triggers can be different from Sagittarius to Sagittarius. Um, if you would like more insight into your particular situation, of course, you can contact me for a personal reading that is in resonance with your own specific energies and situations. Um, but it kind of almost feels a little bit, um, this energy is kind of like what Scorpio was going through this time last year. It's kind of like a flip flop almost. And it's interesting because, again, I'm a Scorpio, but I have a Sagittarius rising. So this energy is still impacting me. I have a really good friend. She's a Sagittarius with a Scorpio rising. So it's like really interesting energy. It's kind of like almost when she talks to me and she speaks about what's going on for her, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like this sounds like exactly what I was going through last year. So um, I also feel like there may be specific groups of Sagittarius and Scorpio energies that may be working together, um, and spiritual missions together, and connecting with kind of more of like their tribe. But still, this is like the last push of the year. This is to kind of really clear out the energies that need to go, these fears, these phobias, because this is getting in the way of you moving forward and creating the path that you want to, also getting the assistance that you want from the divine. If there's anything that you've been trying to change, anything you've been trying to shift into, bringing abundance into your life, it's very difficult. Again, to allow that energy to come in when you have all of this dense energy, all of this, all of these things that are kind of keeping you stuck. You're surrounded. There's no room for anything else to come in. So and definitely use this time, Sagittarius, is to spend just kind of slowing things down. And I know Sagittarius is like can really keep themselves busy, like doing stuff, taking on too many things at times, and especially with this retrograde. I feel like if you do not slow down, I feel like a lot of Sagittarius can kind of get sick to the point where, the divine kind of comes in and forces you to pause, Um, and everyone's feeling this energy. Everyone's feeling tired. Everyone's feeling run down. And it is the time of year where it's like, it's time to slow down. And I feel like society creates this kind of energy during the holidays where people speed up and they are in the hustle and bustle of things, and they miss this deep inner work and this deep connection to their higher self that comes in during this time of year. And it's really, really important energies that we're in, especially in 2017 with the 1111 gateways. Um, so much clearing work that we've been doing for the past 2.5 years, and it's time to move along on our mission. This is the last push to clear out these energies and to step onto your path, to step on the righteous path for yourself. So I hope that resonated with you, Sagittarius. I feel like it's time to confront. It's the main energy. It's like confront your trauma, confront your triggers, so that you can clear this energy out and make way for um, this new shift, this new world, this new energy that wants to come in for you, because it's going to look completely different on the other side of this energy. So we'll see in January of 2018 what this is looking like for you guys. So happy holidays, and I will talk to you guys soon. Many, many, many blessings, and peace be with you.